Hello chess lovers! Hikaru Nakamura's recent games against South African chess hustlers have arisen a huge interest, and I decided to publish one of them on my channel. Here is a game where Hikaru Nakamura is playing against Johannes Mabusela, who is actually an international master rated 2253. Nakamura is playing with the white pieces and he started with e4, e6, Mabusela goes for French defense, knight f3, d5, we see the knight's variation, knight c3, knight f6, e5, knight d7, d4, c5, knight e2, freeing the c3 square for the pawn to advance and strengthen the center, knight c6, c3, and while this knight on e2 is blocking the bishop's diagonal, black is pushing the b pawn, b5, g3, and the b pawn marches forward, b4, bishop e2, bishop a6, white castles kingside, queen b6, rook e1, b takes c3, b takes c3, c takes d4, c takes d4, and bishop b4, bishop d2, and we also see the exchange of dark square bishops. Black castles kingside, knight f4. So far so good, black is doing pretty well. Knight a5. Well, it was better to play queen b4, offering an exchange of queens. If queen e3, then knight b6, and if you attack black queen, then black knight can counterattack white queen. But instead, after knight f4, we see knight a5, knight h5, opening up the queen's diagonal with the idea of queen g5, and f5, which is somehow weakening the king side. It was better to place the queen on d8 square, and if queen g5, then black can exchange the queens. But instead, after knight h5, we see f5, e takes f6, knight takes f6, and now Nakamura will start targeting the pawn on e6. But first he plays rook b1, queen d8. Now the knight on h5 is under attack. He doesn't want to exchange the knights. He first plays knight f4 with the idea of knight takes e6, knight c4, queen c1, bishop c8, and there it goes. The other knight is also attacking black pawn. Queen d6, and finally white captures on e6. Bishop takes e6, rook takes e6, queen d7, rook e1, h6, knight f3, knight e4, a blunder. A better move was playing rook c8. If queen d1, then knight e4, but instead after knight f3 we see knight e4, but Nakamura didn't use his chance and he played knight e5. If you wish, you can pause the video and try to find the best move for white. Ready? Now if we have a look at the position, the pawn on d5 is protecting both knights. You can easily capture on e4, and if d takes e4, then you are capturing on c4 with a check. If queen f7, then you can exchange the queens and then play knight e5. You will also win the pawn on e4. This is going to be a winning endgame for white. But instead, after knight e4, we see knight e5. Knight takes e5, d takes e5, and knight takes f2. e6, queen e7, queen e3, knight g4, queen d4, knight f6, rook c1, rook d8, rook c6, and another blunder by Mabusela, queen a3. And now Nakamura is simply pushing the e-pawn, forking both rooks. Queen a5 attacking the rook on e1, but of course Nakamura captures on f8 with a check. What do you think? Did he promote the pawn to a queen when capturing on f8, or he just left the pawn on f8? Rook takes f8, white is a rook up, but still black is playing. Rook f1, exchanging the rooks as well, queen e1, rook e7, and it looks like that after rook e7 it's over, the threat is checkmate in one. Mabusela played knight f6, but Nakamura simply captured on e1 and black resigned. Your comments and questions please, what do you think about this game? Thanks for watching and I wish you good luck.